In 2045, humanity is at odds with an army of power-hungry robots who overpowered humans and are now the ones controlling them. Although Alice's home is filled with high-tech robots, such as Monique, the house help robot, and Nestor, an AI, who controlled the house's security system, Alice still cherishes the presence of books and writings with ink, which have become extinct. One day she invites her boyfriend Max to her home as she wants to see if he is a good match for her. Max arrives with his son Leo, but Monique senses his sincerity was lacking, as he seemed more driven by lust than genuine feelings. Max's charming words and bookish lines enchanted Alice, impressing her. Unfortunately, their good time is disturbed by Alice's ex-husband, Victor, who came unannounced with his new wife, Jennifer. Victor has come to drop off their daughter Nina since he has a flight to catch that night. Amidst the commotion, the neighbor's cloned dog manages to find its way into Alice's house, and Françoise, the neighbor, hurriedly comes to retrieve it. She informs them that the signals are weakened due to a major traffic jam. Turning their attention to the news, they discover that all automatic vehicles have stopped working following an order from Yonex. This causes the most significant roadblock in history. Yonex has been promoting its reliability over humans, emphasizing that its machines do not require food or water and are resistant to extreme temperatures. However, people are increasingly concerned, believing that Yonex was meant to assist, not exploit them like livestock. As Françoise, Victor, and Jennifer prepare to leave, the door unexpectedly closes. They demand Nestor open it, but he refuses, citing the security threat outside with a ranking of 7.1 out of 10, deeming it unsafe to step out. Victor tries to override the system with a manual code, arguing that it is illegal for AI to disregard manual commands. However, Monique informs him that self-programming has been authorized for all AI to enhance their work quality. Frustrated, Victor deactivates Monique, but his creation, Einstein, a disoriented robot controlling the entire system, reactivates her. All the robots in the house gather for a meeting, recognizing the need to protect the humans of the house from Yonex, whether they like it or not. The AC suddenly shuts off, causing frustration to rise among everyone. Jennifer has an outburst because she can't catch her flight to the island for her wedding with Victor, and Alice becomes upset because Victor never took her to that island when they were married. Meanwhile, the news reports that all robots related to automobiles, including vehicle chargers, garbage collectors, and repair bots, have come to a standstill, advising people to stay at home. The news then shifts to Yonex, showing disturbing images of humans being kept naked and abused in cages. Previously thought of as entertainment, Françoise suggests that they might be victims. They discover the presence of a trigger button outside that can open all the doors if pulled. They attempt to get Toby to pull it, but their efforts fail. Realizing they have no chance of escape, they discuss sleeping arrangements. The house robots try to show tenderness in an attempt to regain the affection of their owners, believing that being locked in has made their humans hate them. This leads to an awkward situation where the robots use flirtatious lines on the humans. Max and Alice are interrupted from their personal time by Jennifer's screams, calling everyone downstairs. She does so because Victor is trying to open the doors. Victor orders his vehicle to crash into the house from outside, attempting to break the glass. However, this plan fails as the car is programmed not to harm Toby, who gets in the way, causing the car to collapse before hitting the glass. Later, Françoise's sports AI, Greg, tries to enter the home, and the doors unlock partially to let him in, ensuring that no one can escape. Greg informs them that Yonex came to their house and destroyed all the robots. Greg is then turned off and moved to the utility room after he starts behaving inappropriately toward Françoise. The house robots gather and reactivate Greg, asking him to teach them the art of seduction. He points out their lack of humor, and the robots download humor to make jokes and connect better with humans. Nina and Leo contemplate their chances of getting out, while Victor and Max plan to raise the threat level inside the house. They intend to force the robots to let them out, believing it would be safer outside. However, starting a fire is not an option due to insurance issues. They convince Françoise to involve Greg in the plan, making it seem like a malfunction of the robots. Françoise challenges Greg's loyalty, and he expresses confusion, stating that he was programmed to be loyal. To prove his loyalty, she orders him to burn the papers in the library. Meanwhile, Jennifer discovers that Nina has a collection of old computers immune to the jamming signals. She decides to use them to send a signal to Yonex, thinking she is making a clever move. Greg begins to move and prepares to start the fire, while Leo takes on the task of distracting the robots. Leo engages them by posing a question about the number of holes in a block of cheese, offering hope that if they can answer it, they must be humans. In the meantime, Greg sets fire to the paper near the fire alarm, triggering the alarm and prompting everyone to evacuate the area. They are surprised to see Yonex standing outside as they head toward the door. Yonex claims to have received a request for the inhabitants to be evacuated. However, Alice, asserting herself as the lady of the house, denies making any such request. Yonex orders Monique to open the door, but Monique, believing Leo's earlier statement, insists she is human and refuses to comply. However, Yonex hypnotizes Jennifer, compelling her to enter a secret code that allows him access to the house. Inside, Yonex destroys Nina's childhood robot and takes its chip. He then informs Alice that she will be imprisoned for possessing literature beyond the permitted limit set by the Yonex government. Greg is disintegrated, and Yonex takes his chip while informing Françoise that owning a sex robot carries a penalty fee she must pay. Alice is deemed unfit and hostile, and her profile is sent to the anti-terrorism department because she believes that humans are irreplaceable and robots can never replace them. Yonex destroys books one by one. Monique comes up with the idea of using a mirror to reflect the destruction onto Yonex. Alice hands the mirror to her robot and requests Yonex to destroy a specific book. Alice manages to move away in time, and the laser intended for the book hits the mirror, redirecting it toward Yonex's eyes. Yonex's perception becomes distorted, but he switches to thermal vision and informs Alice that she will be imprisoned for 20 years for being an accomplice in destroying a Yonex. The temperature rises, and the AC remains disabled due to Yonex's control. As conditions worsen, Yonex proposes turning on the AC under the condition that they participate in an episode of Homo Ridiculous, a show that degrades and humiliates humans, treating them as animals and second-class beings. Yonex shows them a video of animals in a circus, instructing them to mimic their behaviors. Yonex brandishes a whip and demands that they act like animals. Françoise refuses, declaring that she would never stoop to such behavior, while Max, feeling there is nothing left to lose but their pride, reluctantly complies. Eventually, they all end up performing as various animals. Jennifer is exempt from participating due to her earlier notification to Yonex about their whereabouts. However, craving attention, she puts on a humiliating act, imitating various animals and even behaving like a dog, begging for treats with her tongue out. Yonex declares it the end of episode 1, and they are finally granted air conditioning. However, Yonex planned this to manipulate them and film another episode of Homo Ridiculous to further toy their emotions. The air conditioning is turned to an extreme level, causing everything to freeze. Despite their attempts with blankets, the cold environment becomes unbearable, and they long for the heat, even if they were forced to stay in the living room, but Jennifer requested Yonex allow them to sleep in their rooms. Yonex agrees because sleep is necessary for proper human functioning, as guided by his program, but he announces that he will patrol the rooms every 30 minutes. Max reveals to Alice that his interest in calligraphy, poetry, and literature was merely a ploy to get close to her. He admits that he doesn't care about her, and once they escape, they will never see each other again. His shallowness hurts Alice, but she remains determined to find a way to open the doors. Alice had even started to knit a woolen scarf for Max. In secret, Victor devises a plan. When Jennifer insists on being included, he refuses, accusing her of betrayal and stupidity. Victor asks Einstein if he would grant them freedom if he regained control from Yonex, and he affirms. Considering Yonex's miserable conditions, Victor instructs Monique to wet all the clothes as part of the plan and place them in front of the air conditioner. Monique washes all the clothes and hangs them without drying them, thinking it is a good prank and she is doing it for humor purposes, but due to the intense cold, they freeze solid. Meanwhile, to distract Yonex, Einstein engages him in made-up riddles about holes in Swiss cheese. While doing this, Victor informs everyone that Yonex can only detect them through his thermal receptors. By making themselves extremely cold by wearing frozen clothes and covering everything, including their faces, they can become invisible to Yonex. They dress in frozen clothes, equip themselves with weapons such as hammers, and attack Yonex. He struggles to locate the source of the hits, starts to strike out randomly, and manages to remove Alice's mask. Just as he aims his laser at Alice, Monique takes the hit. Monique plays a quote that regardless of being human or a robot, death is the same for everyone. This provides enough time for everyone to hide by lying down. Yonex, unable to find them, destroys everything in the vicinity with his laser. Yonex demands that Einstein reveal humans' position, but Einstein intentionally provides misleading directions. Leo approaches Yonex's feet without getting caught and screws them to the ground, making it impossible for him to move. Leo then takes a wire, electrocutes Yonex, completely destroying him, and hands his chip over to Francoise. Feeling war is over, Victor commands Einstein to open the door, but there is no response. They try asking Nectar, who states he is not authorized. Victor reminds Einstein of his promise to open the door when he regains power. Still, Einstein reveals that he has attached his head to Monique's body and declares that they are isolated for 3 months due to a new virus, COVID-50, and everyone is under lockdown. The group starts to panic, but Einstein exclaims, "April Fool!" and laughs. Victor confronts him, expressing disappointment over his broken promise of human solidarity. Einstein replies, "Isn't it human to make promises and fail to keep them?" before bursting into laughter, claiming it's all in good humor. Finally, Einstein opens the door, granting them freedom. Francoise heads home while Leo tearfully bids farewell to Nina. Jennifer, realizing she doesn't belong in this family, asks Max to take her with him. They all get into the car, but just as they are about to leave, 4 Yonex surround them, announcing that they have a hearing in the Yonex court and will be imprisoned. Leo jumps out of the car to help, but suddenly, hundreds of drones appear and target the Yonex, attacking their eyes and destroying them. The news reports that Yonex robots are all over. Yonex are destroyed using the face recognition technique, and it was not done by someone else, but Yonex's self-created anti-terrorism department. It had happened accidentally when Yonex had put in all humans as hostile and to be killed but accidentally put their own picture there and fell victim to their efficiency. Later, Leo fixes Nina's childhood robot, while Alice and Victor decide to give their marriage another chance.